Hello everyone, my name is Jason Parker and welcome back to this channel about magic. And in this video I'm reacting to Marc Spelmann, a British magician. He previously performed on Britain's Got Talent under the name of Magician X. He was hiding his entire identity behind a mask and nobody knew who he was until the end when he did a reveal. In the past I've seen him do some kind of mentalism-y type of things like the invisible touch routine, and now he's come to America's Got Talent on this The Champions 2. And yeah, anyways, it should be interesting to see what Marc Spelmann has in store for us, especially without his mask. Maybe it'll be mentalism, maybe it'll be something entirely different. Let's go.
Hey Marc, so nice to see you.
Nice to see you.
Marc entered Britain's Got Talent in 2018.
It was the most incredible experience of my life.
My name is Marc Spelmann and I was a semi-finalist on Britain's Got Talent.
Are you a magician?
I am indeed.
The first audition was amazing.
This act is going to change your life.
To get the golden buzzer was incredible. I had a lot of people telling me that I could win.
The act going through to the final is Griffith Wynn.
But it's like, and I was out. I was so disappointed. And I remember thinking, that can't be it. There has to be a way. And that was the birth of X. I came back again as an anonymous character who didn't look like me, didn't sound like me.
So basically it came from wanting like another try at winning. I guess it wouldn't make sense if he just tried to re-enter the contest the very next year as himself again. The producers probably wouldn't like that. But if he comes on as a completely anonymous character, anyways, that's a pretty smart way of thinking, and that's cool he chose to actually do that. I wonder if he really was able to keep his identity secret from even the producers of the show, or if they were in on it, and just agreed to keep it a secret because they thought it was a cool idea. Because I know it wasn't leaked until he announced it and then people were shocked. Anyways, proceeding.
I had no idea who you are, but what you do is unbelievable.
I made it to the final. And when the mask came off, the emotion was overwhelming.
I am absolutely dumbfounded.
But I still didn't win. I was runner-up. And now we're here at the Champions. This is my chance to finally do it.
Third time's a charm.
Since Britain's Got Talent, X has become so much more than just me. We can all be X if we want to be.
Good evening. It is an honor to be here in this great nation. You have all seen so many wonderful acts throughout your time. I am sure there are certain acts that stand out for each of you. On the other side of these cards are some of the most memorable people related to Got Talent around the world. Simon, you can see there are 10 different colors. Please tell me which one you would like.
I'll go for yellow, please.
Heidi, can you tell me which symbol you would like?
The smiley face.
Alicia, please choose any letter.
S.
And finally, Howie, choose any number here.
Unlucky 13.
A moment I didn't foresee. Simon, your color. Heidi, your symbol. And Alicia, your letter. Were always going to be yours. Howie, we'll get back to yours in a moment. Simon, Heidi, and Alicia, If you had made any other choice, the results would have been very different, and you'll agree, there are many choices you could have made. However, Howie, you can see your photo is still there. At the beginning, I mentioned that you all would have certain acts that have stood out in your minds. Howie, who would be one of yours?
Don't be offended, but it's magic, it's Shin Lim.
Strangely, Howie, you didn't choose yourself, but instead you chose Shin Lim.
How is that even possible?
This was the ending I think most of us were expecting. But we must always expect the unexpected.
That was really cool. And I've got to say that I like the fact that even though this is like a mentalism type thing, he incorporated some almost kind of sleight of hand. I mean, at least like very visual element of change that we get to appreciate. An aesthetic element. Proceeding.
How's that possible?
Oh my goodness.
At the beginning, I said we can all be X if we want to be. And that includes...
I just got chills.
Oh man. That's really funny. Alright, now I'm going to go ahead and give you my thoughts before we hear what the judges are going to say. So first off, that was very surprising and cool to see Shin Lim again. For a split second before my brain started working, I started thinking like, oh, is Shin Lim back in the competition? He's going to try to win again? That would be 3 times. And then I realized, oh no, like of course not. He's just kind of assisting for this performance by Marc Spelmann. But yeah, it was really shocking to see Shin Lim just appear there all of a sudden. Although that does make you think from a practical perspective, using the powers of deduction, that Shin Lim was the only choice for Howie. Because that was such a wow factor of the effect, it was something that needed to happen, so Marc Spelmann had to guide the course of the effect to that result. And therefore, although I do feel like the first 3 judges had a completely free choice, I think with Howie, it was one of those kind of mentalism type of things, kind of like I was talking about in the previous Magician's Act on my previous video with O's Perlman. And I don't want to get into spoilers or exposure too directly, so just speaking in code, I think it's this thing where there's 2 types of realities going on for Howie. And suffice it to say, they're not going to have Shin Lim waiting there, and then if he just didn't get picked, then he wouldn't pop out at the end. But for those of you non-magicians, I wouldn't go so far as to say it was directly set up with Howie. If Marc Spelmann did his job as a magician, and I'm assuming he did, Howie was left with a feeling like he had a free choice also. It's just not everything is exactly as we're seeing it here in this clip from AGT. Anyways, I don't want to talk too much more about method. Except for one more thing. How did Shin Lim get inside of Marc Spelmann's body? Or I mean, how did they switch, right? So I actually went back and watched it because I was thinking like, did AGT just cut out this section where they were switching and we didn't even have a chance to see it? Because that would be really annoying and really cheap, right? But no, they didn't. And I have to applaud the editors and the cameramen for filming this particular act, because when I went back and watched it a second time, I was able to see the moment when they switch. And I really like when a show gives us the opportunity as the audience, even at home, to like, you know, to look at it closely and discover if that's what we want to do. And I have to say that I didn't notice it when I was watching the first time. So this moment was executed really well. As far as how did he get the first 3 judges' predictions correctly, I'm not entirely sure, but my attention personally was drawn a little towards the holding area where he would place the results before he revealed them at the end. If I were to guess, that's where I would suspect something fishy was going on, but I really don't know, and it's just speculation. Speaking of speculation, how about those Apple stock prices recently, huh? And overall, as a performance, I feel like Marc Spelmann did a really good job. I mean, the whole thing was interesting. There were no dull moments. It was just action-packed. You know, at the beginning, I was kind of wondering, why is he putting the mask back on since everyone knows who he is? But now it all makes sense. So he could pull the old switcheroo on us. Anyways, I really have nothing but good things to say about this performance. I thought he did a great job. I do feel like just the fact that he had Shin Lim appear on there, that he's definitely going to get pushed to the next round. That's like an ace in the hole. And actually, I hope that both Oz Perlman and Marc Spelmann make it to the next round so we get to see more of their magic. Oh, right. Let's hear what the judges have to say.
I'm lost for words. Like, I usually always find one, but
I have words.
Gobsmacked.
Chills. Literally, I have chills.
Oh, I thought she said kills.
It's like it was freaking me out. I couldn't believe it.
Okay, Simon.
What?
This
What?
would have been my golden buzzer.
Yeah.
But Simon likes dancing guys from space. Don't blame me.
Mark, look, this is the third time we've met. I think it was probably your best performance we've seen from you so far. I would put you through to the semi-finals in a heartbeat. I think it was spectacular what you just did.
Thank you. Thank you.
So you've never said Shin Lim is my favorite. Wow. So good.
What do you think about the chances of him getting
I mean, it's
through?
pretty high. Mark's amazing, and I've been a fan of him as well before you did AGT and stuff like that. So he's gonna do well.
All right, now I'll go ahead and give you my concluding thoughts. So yeah, I thought it was like a really well-constructed routine, very well thought out. When you stop and think about it, it actually had a lot of components. It had the mentalism aspect, it had a visual change that was amazing when he waved his hands over the face, and it had one magician transforming into another, plus the fact that he came up behind and spooked one of the judges. That was kind of funny. So yeah, overall I thought it was a really nice job. And now, it's time for learning a little bit about our lives in the world we live in through really old stories from time past. In this case, AESOP'S Fables. Let's see what story we can find this time. It seems I've already done this one on the top, so we'll do this one here on the bottom. That's chapter 211. 211, The Sheep and the Dog. Once upon a time, the sheep complained to the shepherd about the difference in his treatment of themselves and his dog. Your conduct, they said, is very strange and we think very unfair. We provide you with wool and lambs and milk, and you give us nothing but grass. And even that we have to find for ourselves. But you get nothing at all from the dog, and yet you feed him with tidbits from your own table. Their remarks were overheard by the dog, who spoke up at once and said, "Yes, and quite right, too. Where would you be if it wasn't for me? Thieves would steal you. Wolves would eat you. Indeed, if I didn't keep constant watch over you, you would be too terrified even to graze." The sheep were obliged... This is a two-pager. Obliged to acknowledge that he spoke the truth, and never again made a grievance of the regard in which he was held by his master. There's no moral of the storyline, so we're gonna have to do this one ourselves. Alright, so basically it's kind of simple. I think you had the sheep not really appreciating what the dog was actually doing. They were too stupid to appreciate his true service. Even if it looked like he was just lazing around doing nothing, his presence was protection for them. It made them feel safe and able to graze. So yeah, I can't help but feel like this one is a little simple. It's basically saying don't take things for granted. You may be so used to the way things are, so comfortable that you just take them for granted and you don't acknowledge the benefit that you get from them. And if we want to put this in a really sobering way, I guess you could say if you lose a friend or if you lose a loved one, then suddenly you realize the true value that this person had in your life. But this isn't AGT, I don't have to make this sad, don't worry. And the positive spin on this would just be to count your blessings, be appreciative for the things that you have, and this way you're not going to end up like the sheep criticizing the dog and looking like an idiot. Yeah! What about you? Can you say, is there any other learning lessons from this? Any stories you could share from your life? Have you known any of these sheep complaining about dogs? If so, leave your thoughts in the comments below. And what did you think about Marc Spelmann's performance? You can also leave your comments in the comments section below. I've got a feeling that's all we're gonna get out of the book this time. But if you felt like you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button, it helps a lot. Subscribe so you don't miss more of these videos. It's 2020, so I'm gonna be trying out new types of video, new formats, and I'm excited about that. Already I've started this The Witcher reaction review series. It's something I've never done before. Yeah, maybe it's not getting a lot of views. Yeah, maybe not very many likes. But hey, I'm trying something different. I'm pushing outside of my comfort zone. That being said, I hope that you are having a marvelous weekend and a pretty good day, and I will see you on the next video.